That's really stands well for the molecule. When the molecule was launched, it was launched as an orphan molecule, and all of a sudden, it was a blockbuster in India. One of the highest prescribed molecule in a lesser duration is something like tenaligliptin, which has achieved. And we all, till then, we knew about the benefits of DP4 inhibitors. So we needed a molecule which is afforded by all. So an ideal treatment in diabetes would improve glucose level, which also targeting those multiple abnormalities as has been shown by Defonso. So we need a molecule which should be neutral for weight gain or reduce weight, hypoglycemia, poor compliance or lack of durability. So DP4 inhibitors devoid of above effects. So it is something which is an essential molecule, and over the top of it, if it is cheap, definitely it was bound to show the response what tenaligliptin showed in Indian market. And this is the defonsos ominous octet and the molecule uh, tenaligliptin or a DP4 inhibitor. It acts on the majority of the octet of defonso. So it is an eligible candidate to be kept in armamentarium. So we all know about the effects of tenaligliptin or DP4 inhibitor on beta cells and the glucose-dependent insulin secretion, the beautiful concept which was hypothesized and theorized, and then we had this molecule. It has never happened so much effectively in the past. So I'm very fond of this GLP mechanism and DP4 inhibition that leads to increase in insulin as and when required. Apart from that, we were initially talking about this is a molecule which is good in early diabetics. Later on, they realized it has got this additional alpha effect, which makes it a candidate for secondary drug failure also. So nowadays, it has pushed in the usage of insulin or introduction of insulin later on. When combined with metformin, it reduces the hepatic glucose output for just because of metformin, moderate effect on insulin resistance, and apart from that, the beneficial effects of DP4 inhibitors, and that adds on to the beneficial effects of the molecule, and that is something extraordinary we never witnessed in the past. So the safety and general efficacy data of gliptins are robust and ideal. It is an ideal second line agent, and so, so what about the CV effects? Because there was a lot of hullabaloo regarding the CV effects of a molecule, and people are they used to say that the molecule doesn't stand because it doesn't have data. So now we have got enough about its widely studied short-term cardiovascular outcomes of newer anti-diabetic classes and see what it says as compared to sulfonylurea and basal insulin, lesser chances of having cardiovascular risk. So the what the CVO2 is telling us is CVO2 is just telling us the molecule DP4 is itself is a safe molecule and is a meta-analysis which provides robust reassurance about the CV safety of DP4 inhibitors with regard to individual antithrombotic events. So DP4 inhibitor is it a second choice, but which one to choose? Because there are so many DP4 inhibitors, and all of them, I will say, are almost at par. Some of them scores in some other areas, some of them have some other brighter aspect. But there are two molecules like that is linagliptin and tenaligliptin, which are definitely they are specific and the renal excretion is less. So we need not reduce the dose of the molecule when it comes to renal failure. So teneligliptin is non-inferior to sitagliptin because we are comparing it with sitagliptin because the most robust data for gliptin is definitely from TECOS. So in the context of the triple therapy from type 2 diabetes, see the HbA1c reduction of 1.03 and the teneligliptin was non-inferior to sitagliptin in the context of triple therapy of type 2 diabetes and is an important option in this setting. So this is something good about. So all gliptins have demonstrated really similar efficacy. And when it compared to this as an add-on therapy in Indian type 2 diabetes, because we are always worried about the Indian data, and this is the molecule which has been prescribed like anything in India. So we needed to have a published data. And teneligliptin was found to be comparable to sitagliptin in terms of glycemic control and the safety in Indian type 2 diabetic patients. And it is significantly it is improving hyperglycemia in patients with type 2 diabetes, irrespective of eating. patterns. That is the Ruby trial. I'll be talking about this trial in the subsequent slides. So teneligliptin is large data available because nowadays we judge a molecule on the basis of the published trials and data, and so we had a huge, robust clinical experience with the molecule. Now it's been 6 years. So safety and efficacy of long-term treatment. So this trial, this Ruby trial, is a real-world data of 10,000 patients, and that is something phenomenal. So this is the distribution of the patient, and they were on concomitant antidiabetic drugs, and see the HbA1c reduction throughout 2 years. As in the previous lecture, the gentleman was talking about the robustness. See the robustness. Once it is down, it is keeping the HbA1c almost at that point. If you will talk with respect to glycemic variability, this is almost, if you will talk about basal insulin, this is peakless insulin. So this is the response is phenomenal and very picturesque. That's why I use those words. So efficacy according to HbA1c level, as we all know, higher the HbA1c, more is the fall effect, and that is true for teneligliptin. And the adverse reactions less than 0.5% with respect to hypoglycemic unconsciousness, constipation, and so many things. So it appears to be a very, very safe molecule when it comes to teneligliptin. Incidence of serious side effects are cardiovascular safety, it is there, myocardial infarction doesn't go up, so no cardiovascular involvement. And is there is a European or Western data, because we are somehow somewhere we always look after what the FDA says, what the European Society says. So there is a study of 55 European centers, and is there a Western data for teneligliptin? This trial is having 447 patients, and see the effect of it. And with respect to it is co-administered with metformin and produce significant reduction in HbA1c in patient with type 2 diabetes without the risk of hypoglycemia. And there were issues for QT prolongation. The molecule is prolonging QT. It is not safe. It should not be given. So the 12 lead ECG recording, the study is just talking about that. And teneligliptin co-administered with metformin produces significant reduction in HbA1c in patients with type 2 diabetes without increasing the risk of hypoglycemia. So the European hepatic safety data, and it's just talking about overall teneligliptin was well tolerated by subjects with hepatic impairment, because we know some part of it is excreted through kidneys, some part of it is excreted through liver. So it appears to be safe. And what about this QT issue? Because it is something which attracts everyone and does not cause QT prolongation in type 2 diabetes patient. This is a pooled analysis and was presented in IDF in 2017. In this analysis, they found that teneligliptin at recommended daily doses does not cause adverse events. And in India, we are using at 20 milligram OD, and in Japan, they are using it 40 milligram. So our chances of even getting this adverse side effects was even lesser, and now it has been refuted by the Congress. So the QT prolongation found with all DP4 inhibitors at supratherapeutic dose range is something which has been because they say the paper says all DP4 inhibitors have this tendency of QT prolongation, and it is not just with teneligliptin at higher doses. This slide is making it's a beautiful slide which somehow somewhere has not been shown in majority of the publications. So I found it very interesting to show it. So what about the CV safety? It improves left ventricular diastolic function and endothelial function in patients with diabetes. And when compared with sitagliptin, vildagliptin, and sexagliptin, see the major advantages when the renal outcome, you need not reduce dose, and the CV outcome, the safety is there, and there is nothing like QT prolongation. And so what about the renal safety of the molecule? The dose adjustment as per the DP4 in CKD, and because we are now talking about CKD in diabetes, that's a hot topic because there are so many trials. The credence data, the data from DAPA CKD has enlightened us like anything. And there are two molecules, and teneligliptin is also one where we need not worry about the renal outcome. So, and the REVIEW trial also substantiates this, and it validates the mean HbA1c time adjusted outcome, and it has got no renal adverse outcome. So to conclude, teneligliptin is specific DME4 inhibitor with dual excretion through hepatic and renal excretion routes, once a daily dose, and a low potential for drug-to-drug interactions, and clinically effective in reducing HbA1c, fasting, and PP, and have beneficial effects in reducing glycemic variability. It is weight neutral and has low risk of hypoglycemia. So I fully agree, and you will also agree with the fact it is a pill that has thrilled us and still thrilling us since last 5, 6 years. With that, I will end my talk. Thank you, Dr. Bansi Sabu sir and Diabetes India for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.